All right, so this will be part 2 of the haunted house. Jacob, why don't you remind us what where we left off with you, and then we'll go follow up with Mick and see where we left off with him.
So Jacob's standing in sort of the entranceway of the mansion. As soon as he went in there and the door sort of shut behind him, things started moving, sounds started going off. So he's just sort of standing there right now, sort of waiting to see if anything happens next. He's sort of just observing his surroundings, looking around. He's seen some of the rooms, adjoining rooms, but he's definitely, right now at least, he'll move forward in a bit, especially if he doesn't see Nick in a few minutes, or William or anyone. He'll start moving into some of the adjoining rooms. But for now, he's just sort of standing there, taking in the house, trying to get a feel for its general atmosphere, I guess.
All right, that sounds good. And Mick, where did we leave you?
So, Mick and Will were checking out the layout, the grounds outside. Went to a greenhouse, found a little square door that was paid closed, opened it up, smell of decaying flesh wafted out, and Will got sick, so took him outside, put him in a shed with some of the caretakers to take care of him, and I'm headed to the tool shed now.
Okay, so William is being taken care of by Carl and Hildegard, who are the caretakers of the grounds. When they saw you take William, they looked very worried, and they kind of had this kind of like "I told you so" look on your face. But they took it in with open arms, and rather out than in. No pun intended for his nausea either. So he's gonna stay with them for the foreseeable future, and if he feels better, he will venture alone until he can try to meet up with you guys. All right, so we're going to go back to Mick at the tool shed very quickly. So you look at the tool shed, and I'm assuming you try to open the tool shed?
Yes.
Okay, it's unlocked. Inside, you see the usual assortment of tools, a wheelbarrow, watering cans, garden tools, things to kind of tend to the grounds. It's obvious that Carl uses that building occasionally. He does still work, Maurice isn't always there, but usually on the days that Maurice isn't there, he kind of slacks off a little. He might, just kind of relax that day. But it's neat. It's reasonably neat and free of cobwebs, so it is still being worked. It's not like he's never there. Would you like to look at any of the tools?
Yeah, let's see if there's anything odd about any of them, or if anything's missing.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll a spot hidden.
No. That's a fail.
You don't see anything missing, and you don't you definitely don't see the shovel with a brown crusty stain on the blade that looks like dry blood.
Definitely don't see
that. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. It's just a shed full of tools. Nothing of real concern or any kind of clues or anything in there.
Alright, there's nothing of note here, then I'll just leave.
Okay, and where are you heading off to?
You said there was another trail or road leading from the backyard.
Yeah, it's on the outside of the fence. But inside the fence, directly in front of you, in front of the tool shed, probably about maybe 100 or 200 yards, is what William saw was a graveyard.
Yeah, I want to look at that.
Okay, so we're gonna leave you walking towards the graveyard, and we're gonna go back to Jacob in the house. Jacob, you are in the foyer, my friend. You just stepped, you just stepped foot in the house.
Sounds like a terrible Disney Channel TV show. Jacob in the house.
Yeah.
That's the foyer, sir.
Oh, excuse me, the foyer.
Even worse. Title version.
All right, so as you're looking with your back to the door, in front of you there's a hallway, and then right next to the hallway is steps that lead up. Directly to your left is what looks like a living room that has a piano and a ebony mantle fireplace. To your right, you see what looks to be like a sitting room, maybe like a room where some learned men would sit and chat. And you also see an oak mantle and a fireplace.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all you can immediately see. So would you like to... Go ahead.
He's probably going to go check out the room with the piano first, and he's going to do that thing that everyone does in horror movies where, as he walks past it, he kind of just hits a couple of keys on his way over towards the mantle.
Okay. So the first thing you notice here is that the central fireplace dominates the long west wall. It could hold a log up to 6 feet in length, and a man could walk around it. What? And a man could walk around in it while barely crouching. That's a huge fireplace.
Christ.
The mantle is a single piece of hand-finished wood, completely black in color. A number of small objects are placed upon it. The walls are white-painted wood paneling, which stops halfway up from the floor, to be replaced by fading, peeling wallpaper of a floral design. The floor is nearly covered by several large rugs, and the walls are decorated with many oil paintings, the largest of which is a fall landscape hung above the fireplace. There are 2 main groupings of furniture, one at each end of the room. Each is dominated by a massive couch and includes a number of smaller chairs and tables. A large hand-carved upright piano stands next to the fireplace, and a few chairs are placed around the room. To the south of the fireplace is a closed door. Next to this door, atop a cylindrical pillar of polished marble, almost 4 feet high, rests a glass sphere, open at the top and hollow. This globe is nearly 1.5 feet in diameter. Even from a distance, you can see that the inside is nearly half filled with dust. A number of hurricane-style lamps can be seen on the tables, and the others are mounted to the walls. So that is what the living room looks like. It's pretty fancy.
Mm-hmm. All right. He'd probably walk his way then back over towards the other sitting room and look at that and see if anything sort of pops out at him.
Okay. You don't want to take a look at anything in the living room?
He'd probably take a closer look at some of the pieces on the mantle, including the painting, I guess.
Okay.
He'd really want to look at the painting.
Yeah, so as you're looking at the mantle, you notice that it's a wood that's black in color. It's got to be ebony. And that's a dense black wood found in Africa. Pieces as nice as this usually come from the Gabon region in Africa. You see some on the mantle. You see some photographs. They're tintypes mounted in small ornate frames. Why don't you go ahead and roll a spot hidden for me?
All right.
I guess I should have had you roll that before I told you there were photographs, but got to make up for it somehow.
That is a regular success.
Okay, so one of the photographs is of a handsome middle-aged man in a Union Army uniform. The other picture is of a pretty woman of similar age. In the center of the mantle lies a large rock. If you can roll me a geology roll, you might be able to see what that rock is. Or I tell you what, why don't you roll me an education roll?
Okay, education. That's my guy's thing, so hopefully we don't disappoint. He regular success.
Okay. So, in the center of the mantle lies a large rock. You notice that the rock, it's not just any kind of rock. It looks like it's like a meteorite. Only of one of which you've ever seen, but you've never seen it this close before. And the paintings that you see, they consist of mundane landscapes and family portraits. One on the east wall, between the arches, is of a stern religious man, dated 1838. The other family painting is dated 1842 and depicts a boy about 14 or 15 and a younger girl probably aged around 10. Neither of the children are identified. On the painting of the man that was dated 1838, you just see the name Jonathan.
Jacob sort of says that out loud, like reads it out loud to himself, while he's looking at it.
Roll a sanity roll. Or I'm sorry, don't roll a sanity roll. Roll a spot hidden roll.
That is a failure.
Okay.
By 11.
So you don't see it, but you hear something drag across the floor behind you. And roll a sanity roll.
Success.
You only lose one sanity.
Jacob whips back around, sort of startled, like to look, see if he sees anything.
You don't notice anything. Something looks different, but you can't necessarily spot what it is. So neither of the children in the painting are identified. But from the date given in the painting, well, you can't conclude that because you don't know who any of them in the family is because none of you went to the library to investigate the family.
Not yet.
Yeah, so that's the library. Would you like to go to the other sitting area?
Yeah, I'd probably go check that out and just sort of like clear this, 3-room area before I start somewhere else.
Okay, and roll a spot hidden, or not a roll, spot hidden. Roll a listen roll.
Is a success.
Okay, you hear the piano go ping, 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 and you turn around, and obviously there's nothing there. So, roll another sanity roll.
Terribly out of tune.
Yeah.
Success.
Oh my god. Okay, you don't lose any sanity. All right, so you're working your way to the other sitting area, correct?
Yeah, I'm working my way over.
This man's gonna be insane just from the first floor.
I told you guys.
3 rooms in.
I left you for like 10 minutes. You're already batshit.
I told you guys. The sitting room. Sorry I keep bouncing around. It's just there's 1,000 rooms in this house.
Oh, you're all good.
Okay, the sitting room. Okay. You notice in the sitting room, it's a small room, simply furnished with a medium-sized couch and 2 light chairs. In one corner stands a large wooden cabinet with glass doors, while another corner is occupied by a fireplace, overhung with a large, bulky mantle of rough-hewn wood. A color-braided rug covers most of the floor, and the walls are papered with a design bearing depictions of Greek-style temples populated by frolicking nymphs and cupids. Would you like to investigate anything?
Maybe, so if there's no writing or signature on the front of that painting, how big is it? Is it like a large, like piece, or is it smaller?
The painting from the living room?
With the cupids on it.
Oh, that's actually, I'm assuming a wallpaper.
Oh, it's a wall. Okay.
Yeah, and it has depictions of Greek-style temples populated by frolicking nymphs and cupids.
Huh.
So it's more like to make it look fancy.
Yeah, like a backdrop.
Yeah.
Sort of. I gotcha.
Yeah, and then there's the only other thing in there is a couple places to sit and a large, bulky, rough-hewn oak fireplace. But if you want to roll a spot hidden, I can tell you a little more about the fireplace.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll check out the fireplace, and then after that, I'm sitting down and waiting for backup.
Okay.
That is a success.
Okay.
Regular success.
So as you are looking at this fireplace, you notice that it's completely different color of the ebony fireplace you saw. It's still very large. This one is more along the lines of an oak, and you notice that the oak fireplace has this beautiful grain pattern in it. It's something like you've never seen. Whatever this was made from had to be a very large tree, and it had to be a very, very old tree, because you can see thousands of rings in this tree, and it looks like it's all not out of one piece, but it looks like it's very thick pieces making this fireplace.
Is there wood currently in the fireplace, like to be lit, or is it empty?
No. Well, yeah, it said that there were fireplaces, and they both had tinder and stuff in them already.
That's what I thought. Okay. So I think after looking at it, what time is it now? I know we got here at around 1 or 2. You said.
Let's say
starting to get dark. Or...
I'd say it's probably around 4 o'clock-ish.
Okay, I'll wait off then from lighting a fire or anything like that. But I'll probably sit down and wait for backup at this point before I go too deep into the house.
Okay, so we're going to stop the scene there with Jacob. He's going to be sitting in the sitting room. Why don't you go ahead and roll a listen roll for me, actually, before we start the scene.
All right. That is a success on the listen roll.
You start to hear some whispering, but it sounds happy, like people laughing and stuff like that. Like maybe there was a party or something there at one point, and you're not afraid by it. It's just you definitely hear something, and you're the only thing that's supposed to be in that house. So we'll leave you there, sitting alone in your whispered shining moment.
Yeah, I was about to say sitting in shining.
All right, Mick, and we're back to you, and you're still walking towards the graveyard. The graveyard. The graveyard is a very important place. As you get to the graveyard, why don't you go ahead and roll a spot hidden for me?
That's code for you're going to lose some sanity at the graveyard.
Indeed, I am.
Go ahead and roll a sanity roll.
That is a failure.
Okay, roll 1d4.
Ouch.
Okay, you lose 3 sanity. As you're walking towards the gate surrounding the family burial ground, well, you don't know it's family burial ground yet, but you will soon. You see what looks like a person walk through the first 2 gravestones and into the next gravestone behind it and walk through the fence. It just looks like a smoky apparition of a woman, and it just walks straight through the graveyard, pays no attention to you, walks through the fence, and as you actually get to the fence, it's already through the opposite end of the fence and disappeared.
All right. Yeah, I'm not going to try to follow it.
But you go into the graveyard?
Yeah, I'm still going to go in there.
Okay. Standing far back on the property and obscured by the forest of tall weeds and overgrown shrubs is a tall spire-like monument. And that's sitting right in the middle of the graveyard, and surrounding the monument are 7 plots behind it, with one in the middle that's significantly bigger than the other plots. There is one as soon as you walk in on your right-hand side, 2 to the left-hand side in front of this big monument, and you see one in the very far back right-hand corner of the monument.
Yeah, I want to take a closer look at the most ornate looking gravestone or grave marker.
Okay, so the bigger one you want to look at?
Yeah, the most significant looking one.
Okay, so when you look at that, you notice that specific area for that gravestone is more well tended. So like it's freshly cut, the weeds are picked away from the gravestone, and you notice that on the gravestone it says Eric Van Laaden, who is the figurehead of the family. He's the man who built the house that sits on the grounds. Would you like to check out the rest of the stones?
Yeah, I'll browse through the markers.
Okay. Although some of the older stones are weathered and hard to read, some are tilted at weird angles from wind and rain over the years. Most of the graves themselves are neat and well defined, and the path between them is free of weeds. With a little squinting, you can make out the names and dates of the people buried there. So in the center beneath the gray marble spire, the one that we just looked at, is Eric Van Laaden, and it says 1762 to 1848. To the immediate right is Brandon Van Laaden, 1807 to 1847. Next to him is Henry Van Laaden, 1802 to 1863. Priscilla Van Laaden is 1804 to 1840 or 1859, and Elizabeth, 1832 to 1852. And at the foot of the graves of Henry and Priscilla are two more. So there's Eric, Brandon, Henry, Elizabeth, and then in front of Henry and Priscilla there are Aaron and Beatrice. So Aaron says 1827 to 1866, and Beatrice says 1832 to 1898. On the left-hand side of Eric is buried Jonathan Van Laaden, 1787 to 1842, and David Van Laaden, 1803 to 1853. In the southeast corner of the cemetery, there's the small plain stone, and on it, it just says a stranger, and it just says 1853. In the northeastern corner of the graveyard, buried far away from the rest of the Van Laaden family, is Alan Van Laaden, 1832 to 1863. Now, I know that was a hell of a lot of people, but yeah, that is the graveyard, essentially.
Okay, what was that last man's name?
The last one in the northeast corner is Alan Van Laaden, 1832 to 1863.
Okay, Alan. All right. Yes, I would like to go to the caretakers and ask them about Alan and the stranger.
Okay. God damn it. God damn you. Okay, yeah, that shouldn't be a problem.
How dare you investigate?
I know. I should just stayed here and dug up all the graves. Are they zombies? I know they're zombies. They're gotta be around here somewhere.
Okay, so you walk your way back, and excuse me if this takes me a little while because I didn't write the history of the entire family because there's about, I don't know, maybe 18 to 20 people in this family, this house. So it might take me a little longer explaining this. So you walk back to the caretakers, and the gate is still open because it's only about maybe 5 or 6 now. The sun is starting to go down a little bit. And you go to Carl, and he sees you and he says, hello, we still have your friend in here. He's still a little sick. How are you feeling? Are you okay? Where's your other friend?
I'm not sure where Jacob's around. I'm sure he's about somewhere. Probably went inside.
Oh no, he went inside. Alone?
Yeah, it'll be alright. So, I was looking at your graveyard. I had a couple of questions about some of the gravestones in there. First off, one of the gravestones, man, name was Alan. He seemed to die fairly young compared to most of them. He's only about 30 or so years old. Anything special about that?
Yes, Alan. And he's going to kind of sit you down, and he's going to read you. Well, not read you, but he's going to sit you down and basically tell you the history of just Alan.
Let me tell you the story of my people.
He's going to tell you the story of Alan. He says, Alan was born to David and Mary in 1831 and inherited all the spite and venom of his father. Disliked by the rest of the family, Alan lived in the house after the death of his parents, but did not associate with his relatives. Tensions between Alex and his well-respected cousin Andrew grew until the two men avoided each other and almost never spoke. Alan suspected Aaron's work on the Underground Railroad and resented the use of his family's home in that manner. He feared to publicly expose Aaron's activities, but his enmity grew. When Aaron went to war, he placed Alan in charge of the family affairs very reluctantly. Left to his own devices, the raging alcoholic Alan soon had the family in a state of constant fear. He feared to actually strike Beatrice or her daughters, but a continual barrage of threats compelled with displays of violent temper kept the three women in a state of panic, with the aging Henry Van Laaden powerless to intervene. Alan was obviously mentally unbalanced, and he became obsessed at an early age with the writings of a Mr. Edgar Allan Poe. Have you ever heard of him?
I have.
He learned of Henry and Beatrice's plans, planned to house several slaves in the basement for a week. He fulfilled a black compulsion he had carried for years. He learned the details of the operation and led the slaves to a secret room in the basement. While his unsuspecting victims crouched in the darkness and the family slept above, the mad Alan sealed the escape tunnel with rocks and earth and then bricked up the basement doorway, the only remaining exit of the room. Alan then convinced Beatrice and Henry that the family's activities had become suspect and that he had been forced to help the slaves escape in the night. He had then sealed the escape tunnel and the door in case someone should come to investigate. 2 weeks later, with a leering grin, he told Henry and Beatrice the truth. Henry's heart was too weak to take the latest shock, and he was stricken by a heart attack while he sat listening to his crazed son Alan. He died almost immediately the next day Beatrice wrote Aaron, pleading for him to return. Aaron did not get home until after his father's funeral. After he had been home a few days, Beatrice told him what had taken place since he had left for the war. The next day, Aaron confronted Alan in his study on the third floor. An argument ensued, and Alan tried to draw a small pistol he had hidden inside his shirt. Aaron leapt upon him, and in the struggle, Alan was shot and killed. Wishing to avoid a public scandal, Aaron said that Alan had accidentally shot himself while cleaning a gun. As Alan was decidedly disliked by most of the community and Aaron well respected, the investigation was perfunctory, and eventually confirming the story as told by Aaron. So that's how Carl got the story. Was basically Aaron had told his story, the actual truth, and that's how he knows about Alan. But Aaron has since long been dead, so there's no way to confirm or deny that story.
So that is how Alan had died?
That is the history of Alan in a nutshell. His birth to death.
Okay.
No, it was nowhere near as funny as Monty Python's The Life of Brian.
There's no aliens and spaceships.
Nope.
Okay. Then I asked him about the grave marker, which is marked the stranger.
Stranger. The stranger, eh? I will find that for you very soon.
Unless there's nothing to it, then don't worry about it.
No, I think there is. See, I wasn't prepared for this because this is all things that you should have already known. Oh,
Why go to a library when you could talk to your local German caretaker?
yes. Shit, I can't find the thing about the stranger. I read it though. And he looks at you and says, "I believe that the stranger was," and he used the term Asianic man, who came to work on the grounds. Yeah. Yeah, he was just somebody that died while they were on the grounds looking at what the University of Michigan called an Indian burial ground.
I think I might have a problem right there.
He looks at you and says, in the very back of the property outside the fence, there's a road that leads to this mound that they excavated many years ago. I don't go back there. It's too spooky for me.
Okay. Seems kind of weird they never had his name, though. They had him work here, but they never got his name. They just call him a stranger.
He worked with the excavation team and just happened to die on the grounds.
Okay. Huh. Okay. I'm gonna see if I can find my my other friend here. I'll be back to check up on Will later.
Please be careful. Please, your friend, if he's still okay, I would suggest neither of you be in that house alone.
Yeah, I'm sure he's fine. He's real book smart.
All right. So you're gonna work your way back into the house.
Yeah.
Okay. So you work your way through the gate. It is now it's dusk essentially. The sun is going down, and you walk through the front door, and you're at the front door. Tell me what you'd like to do.
Yeah, so I'm gonna walk in, close the door behind me, light up the smoke, and start saying, Jake, where you at?
So you haven't opened the door yet.
Oh, I thought I walked through.
Oh, sorry. Okay, you walk in. Roll a sanity roll.
Not good.
You lose one sanity, and you have this overwhelming feeling that the house doesn't want you to be there.
Luckily, I don't want to be here anymore either. So, yeah, I walk in, like I said, Jake, we gotta talk, bud. Where you at?
Boo. In here. I'm in here.
All right, so he hears you, and you see that he's sitting down, and he kind of looks like he hasn't moved at all. He's in, Jacob, you are in the sitting room, is what it's called.
Mm-hmm. So I'm sitting there, and when I hear his voice, I probably, just
you jump a little bit because you're not expecting to hear someone actually speak words to you, and you have been hearing whispering.
And then just in here, I'm in here.
And Jacob, as you're sitting down, I'm gonna take into account that you're sitting on the little sofa that's in there. If you look straight ahead, that is the dining room, and it looks like you're just assuming that there is a door next to the dining room. You're assuming that's the kitchen.
Okay. So yeah, I'm in here, Nick. Where's William?
Yeah, he's out there with the caretaker. He's real sick. So listen, bud, we got a classic Indian burial ground haunt going on here. Might be a little over our heads.
It's interesting. Who told you? How'd you get this information?
Well, went to the graveyard, saw a ghost. Went to talk to the caretakers. Said one of the excavation team guys died a long time ago. But they found an Indian burial mound out in the woods. Yeah, it's pretty bad juju.
I've been hearing some things in here as well. There's definitely something going on here.
Oh, my favorite.
All right, so your listen roll is a fail. Just then, as he says he's heard something in the house, he's heard some weird things in the house. You hear what sound like footsteps directly above you. And you lose 1 sanity. Sorry. I'm going to make you guys go insane or die or both by the end of this.
It's happening. Already.
Do I hear the footsteps as well or no?
You do, but it doesn't really shock you because you've heard whispering for the last, say, 30 minutes. And
that's what I figured. What do you want to do here?
Yeah, see, you hear that? Yeah. It's bad. It's getting real bad. Man went to the greenhouse, opened up a door, smell like dead people. It's not good.
I didn't say dead people. I said decaying flesh.
Dead something.
Oh, maybe we can... William's laid up anyways for now. I say we at the very least spend one night, even if we spend it outside on the property, and figure out at least something of what's going on here. Starting with those footsteps upstairs, I start walking towards the staircase.
Okay. As you get up the... Mick, are you following or are you staying behind?
Yeah, I'm staying. I'm following him. I'm staying with him.
Okay. So, when you get to the top of the staircase, here's how it describes it. Walking slowly up the creaking stairs to the second floor, the beam of your light falls upon a huge portrait hung to the north wall at the top of the stairs, flanked by 2 mounted suits of armor bearing long pole arms. Wiping away the cobwebs, you see an old oil painting of Eric Van Laaden poised at the top of a ship, a faraway look in his eyes. To the right of the stairs is a door, standing half open to reveal what looks like a small room. In that direction, you see a glint of metal and shiny porcelain. Further down the east wall is a wooded framed archway that opens into a long dark hall, carpeted with a worn narrow runner. Next to the archway is another door. This one is closed. At the south end of the hallway is a narrow flight of stairs, obviously leading to a third story of the house. A tall, thin door gives access to the area beneath the staircase, and very near it, on the west wall, is a large door, also closed. The walls of the central hallway are decorated with numerous framed drawings and paintings.
Did the footsteps sound like they were coming from the second floor, or did they seem like they were higher up?
They sounded like, remember when you were standing underneath the chandelier and you heard the creaking of the wood?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what it sounded like.
It's a pretty interesting suits of armor, aren't they, Nick? A lot of old money in this place.
Yeah, well, let's hope we actually make it out of here. Because, man, if we make it out, it'll be worth a while. But I ain't looking so good.
Where do you want to go here? What do you want your move to be? What should our move be? Should we split up, or do you think we should stick together?
So as you're
is going to be a good idea right now.
Sorry, as you're considering you just got kind of the layout, we're going to assume that you're at the top of the steps and you're surrounded by the railing that is the steps on the second floor. And you get to a point in the railing and roll a spot hidden for me. Okay. So that's a success.
That stream from it.
You notice that a portion You notice that a portion of the railing on the east side of the stairwell has been broken off and then crudely repaired with glue and oversized nails. Would you like to investigate any of the pictures or any of the suit of armor or anything like that?
I'd probably look at the suits of armor and the picture that are right in front of you as you go up the steps.
Okay, roll an education roll. $78. Is that 78 or 28?
It's a 78. I'm gonna spend the 3 luck to bring it down to my education of 75.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and take that away from your luck bank. And you recognize the suits of armor as being of a 16th century French manufacturer. They're decoratively styled, and they're the type of armor used at tournaments and other public events. The halberds that they hold make you very nervous. They are able to leave their hands. Yeah, they're 16th century suits of armor that are used for public events and tournaments, and they are holding halberds in their hands.
So, in the spot where the railing was broken and repaired, if you were to stand in front of it, like looking at it, what is directly behind you?
Directly behind it is a hallway. Looks to be a hallway.
So as soon as you turn around from looking at the railing, you're facing the hallway, just looking down it?
And so, so if you're looking at... Maybe this will help you. So, right here is the broken piece of the stairwell, and then this is a hallway with bedrooms on the side of it.
Gotcha. Okay, that's cool.
So,
I suppose we should start checking some of these rooms and just clearing them.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So if you're looking, like I said, once you get up and around, there's a hallway with some rooms on the sides of it, and then on the other end of the railing, there is a bigger bedroom. It's like it's a master bedroom, is what it looks like. And there's also right at the top of the steps, directly to the right next to the furthest right suit of armor, is a bathroom.
Probably go check the master bedroom.
Mick, are you following?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. You have stepped into a large bedroom, actually 2 rooms that connect by an archway, decorated in a feminine style. Bright flowered wallpaper covers the walls, and the floors are softened by thick, comfortable rugs. The south end of the room contains a dressing table and other small pieces of furniture, while the north end is given over to a massive canopy bed and matching nightstand and nightstands that flank it. Gauze curtains are drawn around the bed, preventing you from seeing anything that lies therein.
Well, the first thing I'd probably do is go up and draw back the curtains on the bed and look and see if there's anything in there.
All right, you go and draw back the curtains. Nothing there. It's a dusty bed. It looks like it's been left that way for longer than the rest of the house has been left alone.
Seems the caretakers have been avoiding this room.
Can I spot hidden? Like, is there any like dressers or like armoires, closets, stuff like that? Would I be able to spot hidden?
Yep.
Sort of just check around some of these more hidden
Absolutely.
spots?
Go ahead and roll a spot hidden. Oh.
Wow. Fumble.
Mine was a straight up fail.
You guys needed that too, to get a little bit of this history. No, you let's see how we can fiddle with this. Yes, you can push it if you'd like. But remember, if you push it and you fail, something very bad is going to happen to you.
Hey.
Okay, okay. So you see the dressers and the wardrobes. You open them up, and they contain outdated clothing. But atop one is found. You find a small jewelry box containing an assortment of bracelets, necklaces, and pens. Can you roll an appraise roll for me? Or if you don't have appraise, you can roll credit roll.
It's not much better, but I'll do credit.
Go ahead and try it.
Could I roll one as well?
Yeah, because you're going to go follow behind him as he's looking. A 30?
Nah.
Nope.
Okay. You see the bracelets, necklaces, and pins, and you know they're worth some money, but you don't know how much they're worth.
Ooh, shiny.
Them's is some shiny jewel, boy.
And you look on the nightstand that's close to that dresser, and you see a diary that says "Diary of Virginia Van Laaden." And would you like to open the diary?
Sure.
All right. No problem. What the fuck? Oh, okay, good. I thought I was missing the handout. This is the Diary of Virginia. This book was kept only intermittently and spans the years of 1889 to 1911. It'll take you 4 hours to read it. By that time, it will be officially nighttime.
Sounds like a by the fire evening sort of read. Can we hold on to it, or do
you
we
can
have
hold
to
on
read
to it?
now?
Yep, you can hold on to it.
No, no, it's up to you. You found it, but I just figured we could keep looking around while we still have some daylight.
Yeah, I handed it to the old bookworm of the group and let him hang on to it until later.
Okay.
All right, I throw it in my duffel, or not duffel bag, my briefcase I have with me.
Okay. Okay, so that is it for the master bedroom. Seems spacious if you both want to sleep in there for the night, or it's really up to you. Unless you'd like to do more adventuring. It's around 8 o'clock now, so that it's officially nighttime. You both have your lanterns out.
Jacob's gonna go use the restroom.
Okay. So you go to the water closet.
Second floor restroom.
Yep. You see a small bathroom containing a porcelain toilet, sink, and bathtub. All are dusty, dirty, and brown with old stains. The paint is peeling badly, and the large flakes have fallen from the ceiling into the thick dust of the floor. The paint on the walls is also slowly dropping off. Large chunks of plaster have fallen off the north wall, revealing the wooden slats behind, and the wall itself has a perceptible bulge to it, as though it were sagging into the room. This bathroom, it says it's one of the modernization projects overtaken by Aaron in 1850. Roll a spot.
Is there? So yeah, I was about to say, is there like a hole in the wall, like a legitimate hole?
You can
where someone could
roll a spot hit.
That's a hard success.
Okay, so you investigate that north wall, and you start to pull the plaster away easily by hand, and you reveal the rotten slats beneath it. Would you like to remove the slats, or maybe wait, or it's up to you?
So do these slats, they're running like up the entirety of the wall? They're like the actual
they're rotten
of the wall?
They're rotten in, let's say, about maybe a 2-foot area of the wall where it's been water stained, because it's very humid in there.
Okay. Probably. Nick, come look at this.
Man, I don't want to look whatever you got going on in that bathroom. Take care of business. Let's go. Come on. Jesus.
You're going to want to see it. And I start
I don't think I will.
Okay.
And I start pulling at the slats, seeing if I could get them out.
Yep, roll a strength roll.
That is a success.
And then roll a dexterity roll.
That is a failure.
Okay, so you pull off the slats, and you pull it with such force that because of the humidity, there's condensation on the floor, and you slip, and you fall back, and you hit your head on the wall, and you take 1 hit of damage. But because you did that, you notice that when you look through the hole where the slats are freed, you see a flight of stairs about 20 inches wide running from the floor above down to the first floor, or maybe even lower. The air that you smell in that staircase that's behind the walls is very stale, almost as if it's been boarded up for years and years and years.
Nick, there seems to be a secret staircase in this bathroom.
In the bathroom.
In the bathroom. Just come look. I promise. Nothing.
Jake, you're up to any weird stuff in there. All right, I might have to whip you with my pistol. No pun intended. There's no pun there.
He's been living with William too long in that hotel room. That's what it is.
Yeah.
I'm just walking through the door, I guess.
Yeah. I show you. I unveil the secret staircase.
Yeah, Mick.
Where do you think it leads?
Yeah, you see, Mick. When you look in, you see the same thing. It's about a 20-inch wide staircase, and it looks like it leads up to at least one more floor, and it might go down to. You can't really tell because it's dark, and you stick your lantern in there, and you can't see the bottom, but you can see where it ends at the top.
I mean, do we want to head up it?
It's too small for you to go in. You can see it.
Really?
Yeah, you can see it, but you can't go in it yet.
Maybe something in here opens this up more. I don't know. Some kind of device.
We could go up to the 3rd floor and try and find the entrance up there and see if it's bigger.
True.
Or we could break more of the wall and get in that way.
Hey, I guess I'll try breaking up some more of the wall. If it's not too hard.
Before we do that, hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Oh boy. You guys totally know how to throw a wrench into the plans.
If we're not supposed to use this, probably not to make things on the rails a little bit better.
Sorry.
There's a right way of doing this. So just do it that way.
Was it the bathroom break or is it the wall breaking?
Yeah, I think it was both.
Don't you know this is fantasy? Nobody uses the bathroom.
Okay, yeah, if you want to break down the wall, you can, but just remember what Maurice said. I mean,
that's what I was gonna say.
There is a giant hole in the wall right now that, I mean, granted, this can be explained with water damage. A man-sized hole that looks like Bugs Bunny just ran through the wall isn't gonna quite cut it.
Maybe we go up to the 3rd floor and try and find the entrance before we
It could have also just been a ghost that blew up the wall.
Yeah, you could blame it on the ghost. If you'd like to go up to the 3rd floor, you most certainly can. I think it'll be fruitful to you guys.
Yeah, let's do the 3rd floor.
There are still a bunch of rooms on this floor. It's really up to you. I mean, I'm not telling you what to do.
Here's my question. Could I, looking at like where this hole is, sort of like when we go up to the 3rd floor, like tell what area the entrance or a door is most likely to be in? Like, you know what I mean? Just like being on the 2nd floor, look straight up and be like, okay, if we go up the stairs, the entrance to the stairway is gonna be somewhere over here.
No, you can't. It's a secret staircase for a reason. Oh, you mean like looking up the regular staircase that goes up to the 3rd floor?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it just leads into. It's just a hallway. At least the top of the steps is just a hallway.
Probably head up there, and really, the secret staircase is really catching my imagination, I think. So I'd go try and find the entrance to that.
Okay, so as you are walking out of the bathroom, and you have to walk to the opposite end of the 2nd floor to get to the 3rd floor steps, I'm going to need you to roll a spot hidden roll.
That is a failure for me.
Perfect.
Success.
Okay, so, Mick, you see this right away, and you can get out of the way. You can get out of the way in time. All of a sudden, as you get to that broken area in the, as you get past the broken area into the hallway where the railing's broken,
right,
you see this horrifying figure, and Jacob, you don't see it until it's too late. So let me just describe this to you. You see, rushing from the opposite end of the hall, that's right in front of that broken railing, Rushing towards you is an old lady with bulging eyes, gray frizzled hair, rushing at you, screaming, "Get out! Get out! Get out!" And oh damn, gives me chills just saying it. And Mick, you see it and you get out of the way. Jacob, you see it at the very last second, and I'll need you to roll a dexterity roll, please.
I'm going to spend the 6 luck
Okay.
to make that happen.
Okay, that's good that you do that. You get out of the way. You get out of the way just in time as you position yourself out of the way of the broken portion of the railing. You see the ghost go to the railing, go through the railing, and disappear. And I'm gonna need you to roll a sanity roll, both of you guys.
Failure.
Same.
Each roll 1d6 of sanity. Oh, it's a good thing I didn't roll for you. I just rolled a 6. Oh!
I'm definitely insane now.
Yeah, I lost 2, and I think that brings me to have losing 6 since we started.
Okay,
so
but is that 1/5 of your total sanity?
that would be, I was sitting at 39, so yeah, no.
Close. It's close.
Almost.
So, okay.
Well, I started at 52 today. I went down to 41 now.
So, but you just lost 5 or more in one go. So, we're gonna have some fun with you, bud.
Yay.
I'll take it slow, sort of easy on you this time. Well, we'll let the D4 decide. How about that? I'll roll 1d4, and
Cruel.
it's a 2. So you have chronic dendrophobia. That means that your character will suffer for the rest of his life a certain slight queasiness when trees are around. Oh, I'm sorry. Before that can happen, and you do, it does affect you. I'm going to need you to roll an intelligence roll. If you pass the intelligence roll, then there's no phobia. If you fail, then that occurs.
We're in a forest. Please pass.
Well, all the shutters are closed, so that means the windows are closed too, so...
Just passed by 2.
Okay, so you lose the 6 sanity, but you still are a little worried about trees. But you're not afraid.
I hate milkman. I'm kind of afraid of trees.
Could still
city boy
celebrate
wife and
Arbor Day.
Yeah.
Never live in the city.
Okay, so after that just occurs, I'll let you guys roleplay that one out.
What the hell was that?
I don't know, but it kind of reminded me of trees for some reason. I'm kind of uneasy about trees now. I'm not crazy, right? She kind of looked like a tree person, right?
It looked more like what Maurice was talking about, his grandmother with her bulging eyes. That's what... Probably her.
Yeah, but what does it have to do with trees?
Maybe we should leave. What if, I guess we press on. We don't really have much of an option. The gate has been locked. And I think we're in it for the night, so we might as well head up. We must be going in the right direction if all this is happening.
I'm going to need you both to roll a luck roll, please. Ooh.
Yeah.
Failure.
Okay. We'll do a D100 one. Okay. Oh boy, that's not good for you.
What?
In 6 minutes, your lantern's gonna go out.
Do I know this?
No.
Or is it?
Nope, that's out of character. Sorry.
Okay.
I probably shouldn't have said anything, but
Oh, it's all good. I'll pretend
you
like I
guys,
don't know.
you guys are now.
Keep going up into the dark hallway.
Yeah. You guys are now. Remember, there are candles and things still sitting around, but it's just not going to cast as much light. If you were to light them, it won't cast as much light as if your lantern would. But I mean, one candle inside of a room is, good enough to see a little bit. If it's in an area where it's bigger and I ask you to roll a spot hidden, I might ask you to roll a penalty dice with it, just in case.
Okay.
Okay, so back in character. You go up to the third floor, and there's a lot of stuff on this third floor. You get up, and to your right is a door. You don't know what it goes to yet. And directly in front of you is the door's cracked open a little bit, and you see a bed. If you were to look behind you after you got to the top of the steps, you'll see another room. Directly to your right is a library. It looks like a library. And then right behind that is another bedroom. So, where would you guys like to go now?
Well, the library would probably be calling my name.
Okay. How about you, Mick? Are you going to follow?
First of all, I do have a question, I guess, for the keeper out of character.
Yep.
Where did I leave William at? I know he's with the caretakers. Where were they?
They are outside the fence. So they are basically the caretakers' living quarters is outside the fence. They're nowhere inside. So if for some reason you needed to run away, you would have to scream at the head of the gate for Carl. Then Carl would have to hear you, essentially.
Gotcha.
So he is now he's safe and sound in comparison to you guys.
Yeah. All right. I guess I'm going with Jake.
Okay. And Jacob, you go into the library. You find yourself staring at an impressive library containing at least a couple thousand books and a wide variety of subjects. A single oil portrait hangs on each of the east and west walls, while the north wall is broken by a great pair of Polish oak doors with brass handles. The other object in the green carpeted room is a stuffed animal mounted on a pedestal and positioned in a far corner of the room. This odd-looking four-legged beast, nearly 5 feet high, and of a strange purplish-brown color with black and white striped legs. The head is something like that of a deer, but it has oversized ears and 2 stumpy horns. And
is there a fireplace in here or any?
There is not
like that, like lights, candles.
There's a candle. There's a candle that is about half lit, or not half lit, but half used because of that's where he used to sit and read. They used to sit and read things like that. And
I'd probably light that and maybe start diving into that diary we had found earlier.
Okay.
Since it is like night now.
Okay, and your lantern is now out of oil. And you guys are inside the room now, correct?
Yep.
Yes.
At least I am, yeah.
Yeah, I'm in there.
Okay. It doesn't look to be as if there's any chairs or anything in there, but you do see another set of doors that looks like it leads into another room if you would like to investigate there.
Sure, I'd probably light the candle and use that now if I can.
Okay. And you walk in and you see the floor is covered neatly with the same green carpeting that you found in the other room, while the walls are covered by carved wooden panels of Flemish design. Alone in the center of the room stands a large antique desk and chair A framed painting hangs on each wall. So you both want to go in there and read. There's only one chair, so one of you would be standing, one of you would be sitting. There are no chairs in the library.
Yeah, I mean, Nick, you found the book. Did you want to read it, or would you prefer to look around maybe these couple of rooms while I sort of piece my way through it, see if I can gather anything?
Yeah, you go ahead and read. I'll do some light investigating. I'm not going to stray too far away from him, though.
Okay, it will take you 4 hours to read. Right now it's 10 o'clock. But I tell you what, to kind of speed up that a little for you, why don't you roll a library roll, and if you can get a hard success, then you will get the information you need from that, and only an hour and a half will pass.
That is just a regular success.
Okay. Okay, so it'll take you 4 hours to read that. And I
think he'd commit the time and sort of keep, as he's reading it, keep Nick updated if he finds anything interesting while reading, if he's within earshot.
All right. And Mick, where would you like to go?
I don't know. I mean, whatever the closest unsearched area is. I mean, like I said, I'm not going to go too far away from him.
Okay. Yeah, there's rooms on either end of the library that haven't been into yet. You just tell me left or right.
I'll go right.
Okay. So, you're right, or... Yeah, I'm just kidding. We'll go right. You walk out.
Right.
You walk out, and you walk into another bedroom that's to the right of the library. Just as soon as you walk in, you hear... well, both of you roll a listen roll for me.
Failure.
Did you roll your listen roll, Ron? You're muted.
I thought I did, but I guess it didn't.
You may have. Is it the 48?
Nope, it is the 90.
Okay. You both, from your respective rooms, you hear the doors slam very hard. And not only do they slam, but you, as if someone's on the other end as it's closed, pulling the door handle like this, so the door is wiggling. And then it's with so much force that your candle starts to flicker. And roll a luck roll, Ron or Jake.
That is a pass.
Okay.
Success.
Your light is still aflame. And that's where we'll end part 2 for right now, and then we'll take a quick break and come back.